You're standing on an open plain 200,000 years ago. The sun has just dropped below the horizon, and within minutes, your bare skin is screaming. Here's the paradox. Humans are the only mammal on Earth that lost almost all of its body hair and then turned right around and invented a way to cover ourselves back up. Why strip away fur just to replace it with something else? The short answer is this. Clothing wasn't about fashion. It wasn't even, at first, about modesty. It was a survival hack that let one species do something almost nothing else could do: leave its home climate behind. Let's go deeper. For millions of years, early hominins had thick body hair, just like other primates. Then, somewhere between 1 and 3 million years ago, something strange happened. Our ancestors started losing it, almost all of it. The leading theory is heat. As early humans began hunting and walking long distances under the African sun, thick fur became a liability. Overheating could kill you faster than a predator. So evolution favored bare, sweaty skin, packed with sweat glands that could cool the body far more efficiently than fur ever could. It worked. Humans became some of the best long-distance, heat-tolerant runners on the planet. But there was a catch. That same bare skin that kept us cool during the day made us dangerously exposed at night, and even more exposed the moment humans started migrating out of Africa into colder climates where the sun wasn't the enemy. The cold was. This is where clothing enters the story, not as a luxury, but as a desperate, brilliant workaround. Here's the evidence, and it's stranger than you'd expect. It comes from lice. Yes, lice. Human head lice and human body lice are genetically distinct species. Body lice live in clothing, not on skin or in hair. Geneticists studying the DNA divergence between head lice and body lice estimated when these two lice populations split into separate species. The number they landed on, roughly 170,000 years ago. That's not a guess about cave paintings or preserved fabric. That's biological evidence baked directly into a parasite's genome. And it tells us, indirectly, when humans started wearing clothes regularly enough for a brand new species of insect to evolve specifically to live in them. Around the same period, the archaeological record shows something else. Scraper tools, stone implements specifically shaped for working hides, start showing up at sites across Africa and into Eurasia. These tools weren't for cutting meat. Their edges suggest something more specific: removing flesh and fat from animal skins to prepare them for wearing. So picture it. Around 170,000 years ago, a human is sitting by a fire, scraping the inside of an animal hide with a stone tool, turning a dead animal's skin into a barrier between their bare body and a freezing night. That single innovation changed everything. Clothing didn't just keep individual humans warm, it unlocked entire continents. Without fur, humans were biologically restricted to warm climates. With clothing, that restriction disappeared. Around 100,000 to 60,000 years ago, modern humans began migrating out of Africa in waves, into the Middle East, into Europe, eventually into Siberia, where winter temperatures could drop to -40 degrees. No naked human survives that. No human with thin, African-adapted skin survives an Ice Age winter without something covering their body. Clothing was the technology that let our species become climate independent, the first species in history to functionally carry its own microclimate wherever it went. But clothing did more than protect against weather. It also reshaped human society in ways we rarely think about. Once humans started wearing clothes, clothes started meaning something. Anthropologists studying surviving hunter-gatherer and indigenous cultures have found that clothing rapidly took on symbolic weight, marking status, marking group identity, marking who belonged and who didn't. A particular hide, a particular pattern of beads sewn into leather, could instantly communicate which tribe you came from, what role you held, even your readiness for marriage. In other words, clothing became one of the very first forms of nonverbal communication in human history, a way to say something about yourself before you ever opened your mouth. There's also a psychological layer here that's easy to overlook. Clothing gave humans something fur never could: control. You could put it on, you could take it off, you could trade it, decorate it, pass it down. For the first time, a human being's relationship to their own environment wasn't fixed by biology. It was something they could actively shape. That single shift, the ability to modify your own protection from the world, may be one of the earliest examples of humans taking control of their own survival, rather than simply enduring whatever nature handed them. Now think about where that leads. Every winter coat hanging in your closet right now is the great-great-great-grandchild of a scraped antelope hide by a fire 170,000 years ago. Every uniform, every cultural garment, every wedding dress, every flag-colored jersey, all of it traces back to that same root idea. Cover the body, and you can change what your body is capable of. We didn't just invent clothing to survive the cold. We invented a way to carry safety with us, wherever we went, whatever the world threw at us. And in doing that, we stopped being a species shaped only by its climate. We became a species that could shape its own,